Oh. This week in Hello, is it me you're looking for? Spill your guts. Remember last week when I ill-advisedly put on Facebook, do you want to make a suggestion for a word? And some of my friends used it as an excuse and/or/slash opportunity to make some dick jokes. Solid lads. Here's a link to that video right here. You don't go and watch it though. Maybe watch it later on, or maybe click on that and then click back to this. I don't really know how it works, and I don't really see the point in doing this, because then you just go over there and then you come back, and I don't really. Anyway, frankly, I don't blame them. I start to lose faith in humanity if and when it snows, that there isn't immediately several likenesses of penises etched onto snowed over cars. In amongst all of those dick joke suggestions was actually one that was quite good, and that was spill your guts. You see, the thing with making these videos, which is probably the reason why I keep making them even though not many people watch them, is that I never fail to be surprised by the depth of the history of the idioms and the words that we tend to research, we, the royal we. If I'm honest, Charlotte, I read your comment and thought, yeah, probably no. There's probably nothing. That's going to be like 30 seconds of footage. Which I submit to you is why this playlist is called Tim Doesn't Know Anything, and in the future it might not be called Tim Doesn't Know Anything. By the way, if you're in the future, have we all become computer eggs yet? Right, sorry, back on track. Spill your guts. Let's pull it apart, okay? So word by word, spill is an old Germanic word which means to kill or to mutilate or to destroy. In late Old English, which I submit to you would make a great folk band name, it actually means to waste. Yaw means yaw, and guts, which we all sort of know what guts are. I mean, there's sort of the bit that's sort of below, like here, right, and then down to there. Yeah, I mean, this is where all the other stuff is. Technically, the gut is the alimentary canal, which is all of the stuff between the southernmost tip of your southernmost tip of your stomach, which is called the pylorus, right down to your anus, which is your anus. So what does it all mean, and where does it come from? To spill your guts is sort of to share all, isn't it? It's to spill everything that you know, to say too much. Maybe you're an oversharer, or maybe you are that waiter who gets asked about your life and then you end up saying all about your life all the time, and that ends up holding up all of the rest of the team. Yeah, Camilla. Similar idioms are to spill the beans or to let the cat out of the bag. All of this is quite gangster, don't you think? Like in a sort of, in a 1920s or 30s way. Wait, I'll do my New York accent. Are you ready? 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 Hey, Jablonski, get the coffee, get the donuts. Jimmy 2 times gonna spill his guts. Hey, I worked very, very hard on that. Very hard indeed. I practiced it. I was doing my best. Okay, I didn't do any practice on that really at all. Anyway, the best story of the origins or story, or the best account of the origins of this particular phrase, comes from a website called Grammophobia. They cite the OED, the Oxford English Dictionary, which probably means I should have just gone to that and then done the research direct instead of lazily Googling it. But no matter. Apparently, the first use of spill, as in divulging facts, was in a series of letters that were translated by an Englishman from Spanish. That Englishman was rather comically named Edward Hellos. Hellos. I mean, it's likely that I'm saying that wrong, but, this is for shits and gigs, isn't it? The exact quote is, "Although it be a shame to spill it, I will not leave to say that which," cutting some stuff out, "his friends have said unto me." I don't really know what that means, but I mean, I'm sure if we looked at it long enough, we'd probably work it out, right? And then nothing for 343 years. The next recorded example happens during World War I era United States. In particular, United States slang. The OED cites the first example from, this is one hell of a name. I'm going to have to read it out because I can't remember it. Ringgold Vilna Ringladner. Apparently he was a very popular author of the time. Apparently other authors looked up to him. Isn't that amazing? It's cited in I Wikipedia'd him, and it turns out that loads of really famous people think he's amazing. Ernest Hemingway thought he was amazing. Virginia Woolf thought he was amazing, and yet I've never heard of him. I mean, why is that? So the earliest cited example is in that guy with the crazy name, his novel Gullible's Travels, which presumably was a satire on the satire Gulliver's Travels, which itself is, of course, a satire. This happened in 1917. Twice in this novel, old Lardner uses this word to, well, uses spill to mean to divulge some facts. Variations of this begin to proliferate through the culture over the next 5 to 10 years, and spill the beans, well, as a phrase, appears not long after. Spill your guts comes along in the 1920s. Appropriately, the first example of spill your guts happens in a novel about gangsters. So there you go, Charlotte, a slightly okay history of the term spill your guts. Speaking of things that are slightly okay, here is a story which is quite a sad one, actually. It's about unrequited love, and I wrote it when I was experiencing some unrequited love with someone who could never return it because they were just didn't, it was never going to work. Okay, it was never going to work, but I got a story out of it. Okay, and here, just click on my face and then you can do a subscribe. Thanks very much then. Bye then.